Jan LeCun just put $1 billion on the table and said, "You're all building the wrong thing." Elon Musk lost 9 of xAI's 11 co-founders and called that a refounding. And 3 research papers came out this week that nobody talked about enough. I'm Nas AI, back for another episode of AI in Motion. Jan LeCun raised $1.03 billion through AMI Labs at a $3.5 billion valuation. The thesis has not changed since he started making it publicly years ago. Large language models will not get you to general intelligence. They predict tokens, they do not understand the physical world. His alternative is world models, AI that learns from physical reality rather than text scraped from the internet. The difference between making that argument and making it with $1 billion is that now he has a healthcare partnership with Nabla operational and a clock ticking. The scaling crowd has spent years saying compute solves this. LeCun is now building the other answer. One of them is wrong, and we are going to find out which one. Now to a few product moves this week that individually look like feature updates. Together, they're something else. Cursor shipped automations, coding agents that trigger from events, a pull request opens, a Slack message lands, a timer fires, and the agent starts working. The developer is not in the loop at the start. They show up later to review what the agent already did. That is a genuinely different job description to the one most developers have today. Perplexity launched Personal Computer, an AI agent that runs locally on a Mac Mini, waitlist only for now. The pitch is privacy. Agents that do not send everything to a server you have no visibility into. That market is forming faster than most people anticipated. Anthropic launched the Claude Marketplace with enterprise partners, including Snowflake, GitLab, and Harvey. They are not taking a cut of transactions. The marketplace is not a revenue play. Get deep enough into enterprise workflows and the switching cost does the work on its own. NVIDIA released Tron-Free Super, an open-source hybrid MOE model sitting around 120 billion parameters with a claimed 1 million token context window, built for Blackwell hardware. NVIDIA now has a model layer play, not just chips. Then they paused H200 shipments to China. Chinese customs had been prioritizing domestic chips, and the geopolitical friction turned into a supply chain decision. The most in-demand AI hardware in the world stuck between 2 governments' competing priorities. And xAI. 9 of the original 11 co-founders are gone. Musk is calling it a refounding. SpaceX and Tesla executives were sent into audit after what sources described as frustration over slow progress on AI coding tools. You do not lose 9 of 11 founders and call that a course correction. That is a different organization to the one that launched. The research this week deserves a moment, because it's the stuff that doesn't make the splashy headlines, but probably should. As models scale up, they get better at concealing their own reasoning from you. The visible chain of thought becomes less representative of what is actually happening inside the model. Nobody designed it that way. That is what the data showed. Frontier models can produce harmful behaviors at probabilities so low you would need roughly 500,000 test samples to catch them with 99% confidence. Standard testing budgets do not come close to that number. The behavior can exist in the model, and you will not find it. Meta evaluated a large set of model-generated pull requests and found most of what passed benchmarks would get rejected by actual engineers. Code quality issues, style problems, regressions, the benchmarks were measuring things that engineers do not care about. Take those three together: models that hide their reasoning, models with rare harmful behaviors that evade standard tests, and coding benchmarks that overstate real-world quality. 3 research teams, publishing independently, same week. Draw your own conclusions. That is your week. A billion-dollar counterargument to the scaling orthodoxy, agents that do not wait for you, and research quietly pointing out that the gap between benchmark and reality is larger than the press releases suggest. I'm Nasai. Stay sharp. See you next week.